Ladies and gentlemen, it's holiday season right now, and Singaporeans are traveling all over the place. They are going to places everywhere except Johor and Malaysia. Why is that so? This is the most frequently visited place of Singaporeans. This year has a dramatic difference, and let's take a look at why the situation is so. The title of my talk today is Bye Bye JB, You're Too Expensive Right Now. And Singaporeans right now are avoiding Johor Bahru and what this means for the rest of the Malaysian economy as well. The Star came out an article that says fewer Singaporeans shop in JB due to strong ringgit. And this article is quite revealing. And in this article, I quote you some of the phrases that were said. November and December have been the busiest period for businesses here. But that does not seem to be the case this time. The crowds from Singapore are missing. Look at this photo. Okay, just taken. Bolang, this is I think Afok Street, right? Which is just across the custom. Not much people. The crowd from Singapore is missing even on weekend. This is probably the worst year-end crowd we have seen since COVID-19 pandemic, say owner Robin Jen. And this is a real situation that we are facing. That Singaporeans are basically saying, forget it, ringgit is too expensive. So year-end holidays is a time where most Singaporeans will go for holiday. Some will go for long holidays, some will go for short holidays, some further, some nearer, whatsoever. But usually, one place will always be packed. That's Johor. Okay, Johor Bahru, they'll go for generally shorter trips and they will go there to eat, to dine, for massage, pedicure, haircut, just have a good time. And this time around, the pattern seems to be different. Okay, the community engagement, business data, media report, all saying the same thing. Singaporeans are not going to JB in big amount right now, big numbers. They are flying to other places, Japan, Korea, China, whatever, right? Just actively avoiding Malaysia. Well, the biggest reason is the ringgit. The ringgit has appreciated significantly against the Singapore dollar. It used to be three ringgit 50 to one Sing dollar at its bottom, and right now it's looking at 317. And exchange, if you go to the money changer, you can get it at 316 even, right? So the current rate right now is a shocker to many shoppers. This represents a 10% fall in purchasing power. Now, someone may say, well, 10%, I don't think will matter that much to Singaporeans. Well, the numbers say otherwise. Singaporeans are just avoiding JB right now. So at ground zero in Johor Bahru retail right now, they are reporting 30 to 40% drop in customer volume from Singapore. And just to let you have a view, in places such as if you talk about Mid Valley, for example, 80% or 90% of the customers are from Singapore. And so a fall of 30 to 40% is very significant. And and you can actually see it right now that the malls are quieter visibly even in weekends. So Singaporeans are very sensitive to exchange rate, and this is the worst year end they have ever seen. And where are they going? Wow, one big place that everybody seems to be going, Japan. The yen is at a near 30-year low, right? It's almost like Japan is on sale, right? It's a great Japan sale, great Nippon sale right now. And it's just attracting a lot of Singaporeans who are fantastic deal hunters. They go there for holidays, skiing, shopping, skincare, whatsoever, right? Arigato and wakarimashita, whatever. They just love to go there and spend a great time. Japan is traditionally a very expensive place, but now, wow, wonderful place. Korea and China is also a great spot to go for holidays. Many of my 1865 community fans, premium Mall fans are all there right now, and they're just attracting a lot of shoppers. And this is just amazing, right? Europe and US, I hear less of it. Okay, I don't see that many shoppers. I think regional travelers are a lot more. Now, the Singapore consumer is a very sengmok, very sengmok, very zeng, very sharp shopper. they are world-class value hunters. Okay, their exchange rate. Once there's exchange rate benefit, they will flock over there, and once there are exchange rate disadvantage, they will flock backwards. So 10%, 15% elasticity real does matters a lot. And right now, 317 ringgit, 316 ringgit, I think they've crossed the line. So Malaysia is perceived to be less cheap, and comes to a year-end holiday, want to bring the children for a nice time, no need to go there, go to somewhere more exotic. So now talking about exchange rate, is a depreciation of the Sing dollar versus the ringgit good for Malaysia? Well, Malaysia is experiencing a strong appreciation right now in the currency of their ringgit. It's the upside is that your imports now become cheaper. A lot of Malaysians are crying murder over the expensive goods and services that have gone up in prices. With a strong ringgit, your imports become cheaper, and this would also give a lot more confidence in investors. They don't want their investment to come in and depreciate, so nobody want to put money there. Now they have a different thinking. Well, on the other hand, the downside is that you now have a weaker export competitiveness because your things are becoming more expensive right now. It's very evident from the retraction of the tourist numbers, and in JB, I think bulk of the shoppers are from Singapore. Fortunately, China, okay, is the Chinese remain big shoppers in Malaysia, especially in KL, Malacca. Malacca recently has Fan Ping as their ambassador. She was being awarded a Datuk as a datuk right now for the contribution that she has done to bring the image of Malacca up. And now there are so many Chinese in Malacca right now. So maybe the Malaysia don't really need Singapore dollars. They just need the Chinese yuan, and Chinese tourists are a lot more. I would just say this as well, that we are all, Singapore and Malaysia are beneficiaries of the friction that's now having between China and Japan. So a lot of Chinese don't go Japan now. They come to Singapore, they come to Malaysia, you know. So I think the bit of loss that they have with Singapore tourists, I think will more than make up by the Chinese tourists. So unfortunately, the Chinese usually don't come to JB. They go to Malacca, they go to Penang, they go to KL. So JB wise, you will feel visible some traffic impact whatsoever, and so on. I'll be frank with you. When I go in the early last week, for example, wow, the amount of traffic at the causeway is still very heavy. But I think people are going there still, but maybe spending less. Now, talking about ringgit, someone might say, Mr. Lu, the ringgit, Malaysia lousy. Government got problem, this got problem, corruption, whatever, all sort of things. They say bad thing. So the ringgit will definitely depreciate again. Well, maybe, right? Long term wise, Sing dollar could continue to strengthen whatsoever. But in the near to mid-term, I don't think so. Okay, because the US is going to have more rate cut in December, 80% chance of that happening according to CME Fed Watch, and therefore the ringgit will continue to strengthen, and that strengthening will continue to go on for probably 2026 as well. And the Malaysia economy is now on a significant rapid recovery. Data centers are being set up in big numbers, and I just met a government official from Malaysia that actually are just approving giving permits for data centers and things like that. So very big numbers of investments are coming into Malaysia, and all this will drive up the Malaysia ringgit. So I think in the short to mid term, the ringgit will continue to stay strong, might even be stronger. I believe we might be able to see 3 ringgit to 1 Sing dollar in time to come. So for Malaysian businesses, I'll just say this: those that depend on tourist dollar, go after the right segment. Right, the Singaporeans are probably not going to be in big numbers, at least for this holiday. try to attract the Chinese if you can. Have some campaign, And for those who are exporters, your exports are going to be impacted. Try to create value out of your products instead of just having commodity and things like that. So a lot of people say, so now different lah, JB die, situation is different right now and things like. I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'll just say this. I've been dealing with businesses with Singaporean customers for many years already. I will just say this. I think over time they acclimatize. Singapore and Malaysia is just too near and too convenient. It's not something that will be easily be reset. So I don't think this is a permanent dip. Even at the current price, when the 10% increase because of the ringgit, uh, many things in Malaysia is still much cheaper. Will there be a hit? Of course, there will be a hit, but I don't think this is a permanent dip. So the key takeaway is this: that I think that in the short term, the ringgit could even get stronger, so the hit might even get worse. But over a long term, I think the Singaporean tourists will come back. I also think that the strong ringgit helps with managing inflation for Malaysian. So at least you won't see the prices continue to go up less crazy as it used to be. But if indeed the economy of Malaysia continue to grow so strong and the ringgit continue to strengthen, I think there will be an impact in a greater numbers. So let's watch and see. For those Singaporeans, enjoy your Japanese holiday, your Chinese holiday, and so on. But now let's understand that many Singaporeans are avoiding JB. Okay. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my live streams. Bye.